Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for that introduction. I'm Ozzie Cater. I am Senior Manager of Patient Access Programs at the CF Foundation, better known as COMPASS. Before I get started, how many of you have heard about COMPASS before? Oh, fantastic. Okay. Clearly, I have about 5-10 minutes to tell you a little bit more. I'm going to move the microphone, sorry. So for many years now, the CF Foundation has been offering patient access services to people with CF. But we noticed that not many people, as we saw here today, had heard about it. So we are going around the country telling people with CF and their families and their care team more about. So CF Foundation COMPASS, as the name suggests, is a symbol of what we do, which is to help people with CF, their families, and their wonderful care team through issues around insurance, financial barriers, legal questions, and other issues related to everyday life with CF. And just to show you, we have a team of knowledgeable and dedicated patient advocates who are there ready to help with all kinds of concerns around everyday life with CF that you might be facing. And why is that important? So we heard Dr. O'Sullivan talk about the wonderful pipeline of drugs that are coming out of, including the CRISPR-Cas9 technology. How cool is that? It's like sci-fi, right? But what good are all of these incredible advancements if people with CF can't get access to these? This is very important for the CF Foundation. So while we try to fight every day to make sure that people have access to specialized care, affordable care, on a daily basis, we try to help you through the barriers that you might be facing by helping you one-on-one through issues that you might have. And what are these issues? So I thought I would go into them a little bit. Starting with insurance. How many of you like to call insurance companies? Raise your hand. No? No? Oh, you're fired. We'll talk after that.
I'm an insurance agent, so.
Well, believe it or not, my team of case managers love to do this. This is what they do on a daily basis. They will get on the phone and spend hours on end fighting for you to find out why something is or isn't covered. Is it on formulary? What can we do to get the drugs covered for you? And we work with your wonderful care team together. We partner with them. And we get the paperwork together that's necessary to submit to the health plan to get coverage for you. And this is not just for drugs, for treatments, office visits, you name it, insurance issues. Starting with the basic all the way to adverse coverage situations. We're there to help you. Please contact us. We can talk you through it. We have young adults who are about to transition off of their parents' insurance who contact us, and we help them find a plan that makes sense for them. People who have lost their jobs and have to decide on an insurance or a plan, we help them through it, through the marketplace. Of course, now we'll see what happens with the insurance landscape, but we're there. It doesn't matter what happens, just know we are tenacious advocates for the CF community. We have always been and remain there for you, and we will do everything we can to fight for rights of people with CF. Now, financial concerns. How many of you have many medications that you have to take with lots of co-pays, office visits, out-of-pockets? I don't know about you, but I do. And I know that people with CF take many medications that really add up on a month-to-month basis. Well, for years now, we have been collecting a database of resources and programs that are out there that would help, hopefully, for some of the financial concerns that you have. So we urge you to contact us, and we can see if there's a program or programs out there that can help with some of these out-of-pocket expenses. Starting with manufacturer programs that are out there, all the way to nonprofit foundations on the national, state, and local levels. There are some private foundations that are out there that will help with some basic needs that we've been collecting for years. We've been vetting them, and we can help connect you with those programs. Legal questions, particularly around issues in the workplace, in the school setting, and around disability and Social Security. We can help connect you with legal experts that can help answer some of those questions for you. How many of you are familiar with Beth Suffian? Great. So Beth Suffian is an attorney who has CF herself and has been a long-time advocate for CF, for people with CF. She is an expert in the areas of rights in the workplace, the school setting, particularly around disability and Social Security. And we have contracted with her law firm to provide CF legal information as well as help with applying for Social Security. So if you or a loved one have questions or are at a point where you are trying to decide whether you need to apply for Social Security, please reach out to us and we'll make sure to connect you. And then there's this other category that we can't come up with a clever name, we just call it other or ... Anyone who can help us come up with a renaming would get a prize from us. But really this is just everything and anything else around everyday life with CF. And I was going to give some examples, but I know we're short on time, and I know everyone is hungry. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you some of the top 10 concerns that people have reached out to us for just in the last year. You will see that the number one concern was financial assistance, followed by insurance, helping pick insurance plans, Social Security applications, and then of course the complex insurance issues that I mentioned. We also, there was a mention of mutations and genetic testing. The CF Foundation has partnered with Johns Hopkins Diagnostic Laboratories to help people who have either never had their mutations identified or have only had one identified, maybe it was done years ago when they didn't have a full panel. We will help pay for genetic testing for people with CF. You do have to have CF, but for people with CF who meet one of those categories. You either never had your mutations identified or maybe just one of the two. Contact us, we will work with your provider. It is a provider-driven process called the Mutation Analysis Program because we want to make sure that we work with your providers on this. And we can see if you qualify for that. For the sake of time, I'm just going to give one example out of this list. We were contacted by a grandmother whose grandchildren were evicted from their home, and they were actually sleeping in the woods in a tent. And you know, it's bad enough for anyone, but for a grandchild with CF to sleep outdoors, exposed to cold weather, it was an awful situation. Well, they reached out to us and we were able to find temporary housing for them until they could find something more permanent. And in fact, because the kids were sleeping on the floor or in the woods, we actually helped find mattresses for the family as well. These are all through programs that we do all of the research, we find the assistance, and then we help connect the families to the assistance. And again, I did want to say we are part of the policy and advocacy group at the CF Foundation, and we want to ensure you that we will always, always fight for high quality, specialized care for all people with CF. Not to get political, we are nonpartisan, but we will we will do everything that we can to fight for access for all people with CF to healthcare. And with that, thank you very much, and I'll be in the back if you have any questions.